In the sixth stage of the Violence Prevention Initiative, the key way we pivoted the way we looked at data is instead of cases that represented individual interview transcripts, we combined cases so that a case represented one person. This case represents somebody in Community A, and they were the director of the program. You can see that all four of their transcripts are collected here by the case. And this way, when we added demographics, like how much experience someone had in violence prevention work before, or whether they were in a rural or urban community, those values got added to this case. It meant that as we sorted people with different characteristics, it was only counting them once instead of potentially counting them multiple times. So this is the same person who was interviewed in multiple times of waves of data collection. This structure meant that when we ran matrices, and so for instance, here's the result of a matrix where we looked at descriptive coding by prior experience. The counts in here, though initially if we look at counts by content, it's counting the number of times that a passage came up, we can also ask for the number of cases or people. So if we get a person level count, we know it's accurate because each case represents one person instead of one interview transcript. And regardless of the numbers that come up in this table, we can always double click on a cell to go look at the data. So at this point in the research, we spent quite a bit of time thinking through, now that all the data had been coded, how did we want to make some comparisons? We made some of those comparisons through matrices that looked at coding categories by demographic characteristics, and we also did some other queries that were coding categories by other coding categories. And it's by looking at this bigger picture that we established an outline for the final report that looked across all the waves of data collection. And as we'd done before, divided up the work by team members. Each team wrote their section of the report. The principal investigator reviewed those materials and combined them and made the language consistent. And then it went out one last time to the team so they could look at the report, provide final feedback, and then the PI submitted the report.